the Bowels of Netflix, where your fearless co-hosts Isaac and Larry force each other to watch the worst pieces of shit on Netflix. We will go over every bad edit, all the broken dialogue, all the wooden acting, and laugh along the way, because this is the Bowels of Netflix! Alright, welcome to the Bowels of Netflix. I'm Isaac, and with me as always is my fearless co-host Larry. How are you doing this week, Larry?
No more movies from the past. No more.
No? You can't handle it?
I'm done with reliving my past, Isaac. I have made a business out of forgetting everything that happened in my life prior to being, like, whatever year it currently is.
I'll find some movies from the future for you.
This goddamn movie drudged up something from my past where I think I drew from the soup of my subconscious and made a D&D character out of this fucking movie. But we'll get to that later.
The soup of your subconscious. I love that. Oh my god.
Just put a big label in it. It's full of big chunks of potato and human feces.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it like a cream-based soup, or are we like a minestrone?
No, cream-based soup is for assholes.
What are you talking about?
Cream-based soup is the worst kind of soup.
Well, it's very heavy, yes, but it's delicious.
It's not just, I don't know, cream-based soup is the worst. What's your favorite cream-based type of soup?
I don't know, like cheddar broccoli is good.
Ooh,
clam chowder.
Well, fuck clam chowder, but you know what? You got
like
me with the cheddar broccoli.
Potato?
I forgot cheddar broccoli.
Any kind of bacon potato soup is good.
All right, shut up, so I'm wrong. It happens sometimes.
Look, you just need to embrace the cream-based lifestyle.
Fucking... God, we'll be talking about cream in this fucking movie, too. Oh, man.
Oh, God. So...
And I don't mean clown cum. Or
you
do
don't
I?
Clown cum?
What?
Wait, clown... With a K?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things spelled with a K in this fucking movie.
Oh, boy. So, anyway, we are the Bowels of Netflix. We are two old friends who hate each other dearly, and every week one of us forces the other one to watch a terrible, terrible movie on Netflix, and then we get on this podcast and describe it in excruciating detail. And you can find us online. We're on Twitter, we're on the Facebook, we're on the TikTok. I think we're on TikTok, right? You keep up with those young Chinese kids, right?
We're not on TikTok. We do not need...
Why not? Let's get on TikTok right now.
It's like a data phishing scam.
Yeah, well, why don't we just confuse China?
Yeah, we're like the virus that blows up Chinese computers because it's like, I can't understand how dumb we are.
Let's coronavirus them with our stupid brains. We'll take them down from the inside.
Christ.
You can also email us at bowelsofnetflix@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you if you've seen any of these horrible movies and have experiences, got a sad hand job to Killer Klowns from Outer Space like Larry gave himself, I'm sure, while watching this.
Two stories about that. This is one of the movies that I think more people have seen than most. You know, maybe maybe B movie. But I've talked to a few people who have watched this movie, like in my personal life. And I think one of them may actually have gotten a hand job during this movie.
This is not a hand job movie.
No, I mean, I don't think that... I don't know. When I was younger, movies were often an excuse to lead into sex. So I think that maybe this was, one of those. I can't confirm it for sure, but I think the way it was being described to me, I do believe that hand jobs abounded during Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Hand jobs abounded. I think there was some Keanu Reeves movie where he beat up inner city kids that there was a little romance involved in one of my early relationships.
Oh yeah, The Sandlot.
I think no, well, it was baseball related.
Of course it was. If anything, you're predictable.
I think Keanu Reeves played the dog and he beat up the kids. Something like that.
There was a lot of movies in my youth that were excuses to make love to a woman.
When you say youth, I'm picturing like 7-year-old Larry like macking on some MILF ladies.
Yes, definitely. For sure.
The Sandlot plays.
I don't want to taint The Sandlot with thinking about sex during it.
Why do you say taint and sound a lot? I can't. It's starting already. Jesus Christ.
It's not James even your episode yet.
I know. It's going to be bad next week. Anyway, so, Larry, you had a crazy kaleidoscope of a movie.
Oh, God.
I can't think of any other K words.
That's kaleidoscope is a great word to describe it because they definitely go for that image in this fucking piece of shit.
So what did you have this week, Larry?
I had the movie, the 1988 classic, and loath though I am to say it, I do believe that is how it is considered. Killer Klowns from Outer Space. And that is Killer Klowns with a K. So it's described on Wikipedia as a science fiction horror comedy film, which sounds to me like Spaghetti de Coco slapping together ideas for the fucking next sequel to Air Bud. And yeah, this movie seems to be, it's like a cult horror movie classic. Now, as listeners of the Bells of Netflix, a long time, or even short time, or anyone who's listened to a single episode before this, listeners of the Bells of Netflix know, I hate pretty much everything, including being alive and the feel of sunshine and just human joy. I just pretty much just hate all of it.
Yes, this is known. I'm
just a hateful, spiteful boil on society's ass. So it's no surprise to you that, no, guess what? I didn't love this movie.
Shocking.
It does have one of those cult followings that people love it. And like I said, I did speak to a couple of folks in my regular life, and I got varied response. I know my friend who may have received the hand job during Killer Klowns did not enjoy it, although I believe his girlfriend did.
Did we get a rating on the hand job?
No, I didn't ask.
Well,
the hand job was implied, and I think he'll be horrified to know that I brought it up. And another friend of mine, when I mentioned I was watching a shitty movie for the podcast, he asked what it was, and I said this, and he's like, "Oh, well, you're just wrong. That's one of the best movies ever made," and proceeded to tell me how much he loved it. So, I think if you like low budget horror movies, I think this is among the best. But if you hate that entire genre, I mean, it's just more of the same, because they're all the goddamn same. But
yeah, I'm sure this movie knows what it is.
Kind of. I don't know. I actually, now that I've seen it twice for the show and once in my regular life, when you forced me to watch this many years ago, which don't remember.
I don't think I forced you to watch it. I think it was a certain weightlifting individual from our sandwich past.
Oh Lord, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember. Huh. Anyway, I ended up watching this in the past, against my will, because as we all know, I also hate horror movies, but that's just because I'm a giant coward. But this has nothing scary in it. It's just like
it's so goofy it can't be scary, right?
But yeah, I mean, it's not intended to be scary. Having seen it as many times now, I actually do have some praise to give it, which we'll get to as part of the review. It's far from the worst thing I've ever seen, especially in this genre, because I've seen some really bad shit in this genre that I've been forced to watch every time, never of my own accord. But this has some pretty good design elements, but we'll get to that later. The Rotten Tomatoes scores stand at... This to me is shocking, because I never would have guessed that this disparity would exist. The tomato meter for this movie is 78%. Again, it's a cult classic, so people love it.
So that's the critic one?
That's the critic one. The audience score is 59%.
Oh, interesting. It's usually kind of the opposite.
More often than not, yeah. It's critics hate it and the audience loves it, but this is the reverse. And it seems to be that critics love it for a lot of the things I'm going to praise it for, too. I don't really, it's hard to piece together why the audience score isn't higher, because it is a cult classic. Like, usually that's the kind of thing where the audience score is like 98 when the tomato meter is like a 3. I'm sure
I think maybe because it's so popular, like as a cult movie, it's one of those cult movies that people who aren't super into cult movies have seen.
Yeah, because
like we're not like super cult movie nut jobs or anything.
No,
but we saw this 10 years ago,
right?
Just, because someone told us to watch it, basically.
And it's existed.
So I think it's just one of those movies that a lot of people have seen, and a lot of people, rightly so, hate.
Right, and it's because of that, because it's like among the more well-known, it's more likely that people would like dip a toe into this. If you want to dip a toe into bad cult horror movies, like this is one of the ones that comes up, because it's very, it's forward-facing. Like anyone can sit down and watch it, and it's like, it's technically better than a lot of low-budget horror, but again, we'll go through it more a little later. The IMDb is 6.2, so, right about normal for anything else. Not too high, not too low. I don't really recognize any of the director or writers. It's like a family. It's like 3 brothers, I think, who all wrote it, and then one of them directed it, which is kind of interesting. There's not really any actors of note except for, one of the cops, which we'll get to in a little bit. So yeah, that's really all we got for the background stuff. I mean, oh God, don't make me do this. I just stop making me watch these movies from my past, man.
We'll get some fresh ones for you 2 weeks from now.
Oh, God.
I got a couple in the chamber.
Oh, great. That's great. I'm very excited. Why did I agree to do this show again? All right. So
you hate yourself.
I do. And that's true. For everything that I hate and I aspire to hate and talk about hating, I hate myself twice as much. It's just a terrible, awful, toxic relationship I have with myself.
Positive thinking, Larry. Give me one thing you like.
I love ice cream.
Okay. Ice cream's delicious. Favorite flavor?
Cookies and cream, I think.
Okay. All right. That's a classic, but not too bland. If you just said vanilla, I had to slap you. But yeah. Okay. We're all right with that.
Yeah. Thank you for judging my fucking ice cream choices, Dad.
No.
So Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Like, I don't know what the fuck you even say about a movie like this. It's clown kills is what you're in for. Like, that's the story is garbage, and we'll get through it. We'll probably go through it very quickly. I have a suspicion this might be my fastest review ever. It's 8 pages long, but honestly for me that's kind of normal, and there's not really, it's just plot explanation, of which there's not much to really go into. Like, you're in this to see how do these alien clowns kill people. So that's the feature attraction here. And yeah, there's no other point than to try and make these gigantic sponge-fingered space clowns seem quote-unquote scary. So we open up on
How do you know what my wife calls me? Sponge-fingered space clown.
Your wife calls you a lot of things. Honestly, I could just pick a dictionary, grab 4 negative adjectives and cram them together, and that would just describe you. That'd be a fun game.
We'll do that. We'll tweet each other.
Oh, speaking of games, we also have to, we have a game based on hot dog mailing and clowns in your movie, but we'll get to that next week.
Yes,
but
you'll have to stay tuned.
I have not forgotten, which most things I usually forget. I didn't forget that one.
Yes. We will be committing hot dog mail fraud in one direction or another, so stay tuned for next week.
Still a great name for a shitty garage ska band. Hot dog mail fraud. So we open up with a shitty 1980s song called Killer Klowns, because why wouldn't we? Nice. We see some of our characters that we'll be seeing more and more of in the movie, just in the tiny little vignettes throughout town. One of these characters is Officer Mooney, who is a crotchety older cop. Mooney is played by John Vernon, who some of you may know as Dean Wormer from Animal House. I fucking love me some Animal House, so this was a great... I didn't remember the fuck that he was in it at all. This is a great news for Larry that, at least we get this, because his character is fantastic in that. He basically just he basically just plays angry old men, and it's fantastic. I love it.
So you just feel like you're looking into a mirror?
Pretty much, yeah, except I'm just 30, and he's like in his 60s at this point, at 50s, I don't know.
Look inside for your actual age.
It's very old. And this does mean I get to make at least 2 Animal House quotes, so another bonus for me there. That's 2 jokes I don't have to write.
Stop finding things that make you happy about this movie. I don't like it.
Well, as far as things make me happy, that is pretty much it.
Okay.
So we see Dean Wormer grumpily driving through a small town. That's all it's going to be called, is Dean Wormer. Typical horror movie fare, small town. He drives past some youngsters, including one drinking from a pure white can with big black letters that say beer on the side of it. Which
okay, I like that.
I love low-budget movies, and I love that in low-budget movies they can't do any kind of branding, because it's not like fucking Budweiser gave Killer Klowns from Outer Space a goddamn promotion deal. So they have to drink brand beer. And it comes up a lot. Like, in a lot, if you like pay attention to basically, it doesn't happen as much in newer movies because anyone will give money to anything. But in older movies especially, you can just like look at neon signs in bars and look at the products people are using, and it's often like, try new brand bread, and beer brand beer is always my favorite. So we cut to a bunch of youths making out and getting handsy at the local makeout spot, which is called the Top of the World. I don't know if I've mentioned how long of a quarantine it's been at, I don't know, any given point of the last fucking 7 months. But watching a bunch of youths making out in the beautiful open sky made me long and yearn for the touch of another human being. But my sad life is not fucking on trial here. It's It's been a long quarantine, Isaac. So amongst the youngsters are a generic couple, including our two leads, who I'm going to call male protagonist and female protagonist, because their names are Mike and Debbie, and the third protagonist's name, by the way, is Dave. So as opposed to using those three generic names, I'm just going to call them what they are, which is male protagonist and female protagonist. Neither of them have any defining characteristics of value, and honestly, no shit, these two really do not provide anything of the value to the plot, other than just being the two people the camera follows, mostly. Because, they just exist. They don't solve any problem. They don't do anything to push the plot along. It's just they're just kind of there. Our third protagonist, that we'll get to in a little bit, is kind of more involved, but really it's just about the clowns, and even that is disappointing. But again, we'll get there later, because oh god, the clowns.
Bringing the clowns.
So yeah, our two male protagonist and female protagonist are bland and depressingly generic. Get used to hearing me say that about every character in this film who's not named Dean Wormer. So while everyone is getting steamy, and I shed a tear of the lost passions of my unstirred loins, an ice cream truck, complete with plastic clown head on the top, trundles into the middle of the clearing. Before we go any further, I need to talk about what I mentioned before, which is the unconscious soup. So, for all of you who may be familiar with tabletop role-playing games, I think the most common would be Dungeons & Dragons. You've at least heard of it if you've never played it. And if you haven't, it's a game where you embody a fantasy character from, basically Tolkien lore and fucking roll dice, blah, blah, blah. It's like a video game, but with imagination. Well, there's also a version based on the writings of H.P. Lovecraft for Call of Cthulhu. Isaac, you and I have played some of those games to some amazing results, thanks courtesy of our dear friend Josh, who was a wonderful DM. But in the last couple of years, you and I don't live near each other anymore. I've played a game with some friends, and the character that I played the most recent time was of a clown named Garbanzo, who drove an ice cream truck. And I saw this fucking clown ice cream truck roll into this clearing, and I had to stop the movie and just have a 35-minute revelation that, oh my god, even though I don't remember anything in this movie except for one of the kills, I think I may have subconsciously pulled that out of my brain. And it really fucked with me.
The human brain is a weird little sponge.
It is, isn't it? It's crazy the things that it can pull out of nowhere. But that really messed with me because, I don't know, man, Garbanzo's a big sticking... I remember Garbanzo fondly. He was fun.
It's a great name. That's perfect.
It did work out pretty well. The best part was, too, that the guy running the game was... The characters will all call me Chickpea because Garbanzo beans are also called chickpeas. And a year later, our friend Josh, we just described, called me up at 11:30 at night and said, "Oh my god, chickpeas are garbanzo beans. I get it now." And it was hilarious. It took him a year for that joke to sink in. Oh, man. All right, so that story of my misspent youth aside. So in the movie, we have a clown head-topped ice cream truck rolling into Makeout Point, which is called the Top of the World, which I really dig that name, by the way. Despite what would seem to be the obvious symbolism here, this ice cream truck is not operated by Killer Klowns from Outer Space. It is in fact operated by two brothers who we will be calling the Ice Cream Brothers, because that's really all that matters about them. They're talking through the intercom, offering to sell ice cream to the making outers. Their sales pitch includes the following lines, quote, "We'll give you the stick, you give it a lick, it'll tickle you all the way down." And also, quote, "We brought our goodies here for you, a tasty treat for while you screw." Which I wish was not as catchy as it was, but I will be thinking that in my head for the next week. I told you that story, so I could tell you this one. Another story of my misspent youth. Once in the middle of making out and maybe getting a little handsy myself, an ice cream truck was very audibly rolling down the street outside, and I ceased the sexual activities to go get ice cream because I wanted ice cream from the ice cream truck because I had never gotten ice cream from an ice cream truck before. And she's not with me anymore. Believe it or not.
Get out of here. Did you have a bone when you were in line with the children at the ice cream truck?
No. I think in the course of putting on a shirt again, it went away. I don't remember exactly, but I definitely did not have an erection standing at the line of the ice cream truck.
The most important thing, did you get her ice cream?
Yeah, she came out too.
Okay. I just picturing you running out and coming in with an ice cream cone in each hand, and you just eating both of them, and not giving her anything.
Yeah, I pushed her off, punched her in the face, stole her wallet, bought myself 2 ice creams, and came back and ate them in front of her.
It's like really weird because that's my love story.
Yeah, and we've been married for 20 years.
Yep.
All right, so God, I got to stop talking about my youth. So the making out kids berate the ice cream brothers and throw their empty beer cans at them because they're trying to fuck, and here's these 2 idiots screaming through an intercom with a clown. We get some generic quote unquote comedy shtick with the ice cream brothers and their larger dates who were in the back of the ice cream truck, which I don't really understand, but doesn't really come up again. But they're there. We cut back to male and female protag who are sitting in an inflatable raft in the back of their truck, which I guess, whatever, if you got one, better than make it out in the back of a truck. Male protag laughs because he's apparently best friends with the ice cream brothers. The 2 start to make out when overhead streaks a comet screaming across the sky. No, it's not signaling the birth of Rasputin. It is, in fact, most likely filled with killer clowns. Because I cannot stop sucking the dick of last podcast. If I give up, I succumb to it. We cut to a farmer and his dog, an old bloodhound named Pooh, sitting on their porch. Editor's note, it is the fucking dead of night, this entire movie, even though a lot of daytime activities are happening in this movie, but, whatever. The farmer mistakes the crash landing for Halley's comet landing in his fields. Assuming he's going to be rich, he grabs his trusty shovel and he and Pooh set off. Meanwhile, male and female protag argue about the comet. He wants to hang out and squeeze up on her titties and her downstairs titties, which I'm reasonably sure is what goes on down there. But again, it's been a hot minute. Thank you, quarantine. The farmer shows up to the comet. It's not a comet. It's not a spaceship. No, it's in fact a big top tent, like what the circus has. He decides this is
forgot about that.
Yeah, me too. He decides that this is instead a more interesting prospect than finding Halley's comet, and goes to
I would say
he goes to try and ask for free passes to the circus. Let's take a quick second here and talk about the ridiculous low budget horror movie logic that pervades all these movies. So we've kind of described it before, but and again, anyone who's listened to this show in the past knows that, at least especially for my episodes, very nitpicky and detail oriented for that kind of thing. But for these sort of movies, it's kind of assumed that, it's fucking alien clowns that turn people into cotton candy, spoiler. So, really, logic kind of goes out the window here.
I would say.
Like, I don't need to try and figure out the farmer's fucking reasoning. And I'm not gonna try. Like, it's one of those things where, people always say you can just shut off your brain and have fun. Well, this is a movie where you have to, because that's how it works. Like, you gotta... A lot of this shit's going to be nonsensical. There's no point in, pointing out the logical plot holes, because it's what it is. It's clowns killing people. Like, there's not...
It's baked into the recipe.
Right. I think there's 2 points in here where there was stuff that really bothered me, especially the ending. We'll talk about the ending. That I had to at least say something, because it's so dumb. But for the most part, I'm just going to let the logical fucking fallacies go, because who gives a shit?
Yeah. Like, depending on the movie and the genre, there's a certain amount of suspension of disbelief you can stomach.
Right, and, that is an integral part of watching a low-budget horror movie, because, it's not gonna...
Yes, the threshold's very high for that type of movie.
People's decisions...
But if it's a true crime thriller, then it should be portrayed pretty straight.
Yeah, you can't... the tone they're trying to set is one of goofiness, and in that sense, it's okay, well... The farmer's going to do goofy shit. People are going to do goofy shit because, whatever, that's the movie. So, I'm not going to get into that too much more, but it's important to point out, for me, because, usually it hurts me to let any single sort of logical leap go unyelled at, but in this case, you have to, or why are you here? All right, so the farmer's wandering around outside the tent, and inside the tent, behind him, we see the silhouette of a clown creeping up on him. A hole opens up in the tent with a laser hole, and a net comes out to scoop up Pooh the dog. Thankfully, they don't make me watch anything even remotely resembling a dog murder, because honestly, right now, I don't think I could handle that. Isaac, this is a real plea, as Larry Beard, human being, not your podcast host and friend / sexy hated rival. Please don't give me a movie contains dog murder. If you know an intentionally don't give me Old Yeller, because I don't think I could watch a dog get murdered in quarantine right now and not start bawling. Like,
what about Air Bud 2? I think he gets 2 to the back of the head at the end of that.
There's 27 more Air Bud movies.
Well, no, he's got kids. He humps a bunch of kids into some lady dog, and then bad guy kills him.
Air Bud is in the first 5 Air Buds and at least 3 of the Buddies movies, so go fuck yourself.
I'm glad you know that.
Of course I do. Why would I not? I can't believe this isn't just the Air Bud podcast yet, but that's because they're not on Netflix.
We're transitioning.
God. Yeah, so the farmer goes looking for poo angrily. He punches the side of the tent in rage to find out that it's metal. He tries to pull up one of the tent ropes to find out that it's a cord, and it gives him a mild shock. Suddenly, he is accosted by a clown. And it's just like, bam, camera on clown. Like, there's no secrecy. The clowns are not meant to be like scary horror villains. We just get clown immediately. So all the clowns are like, I don't know, maybe 7 feet tall, thereabouts. Most of them. There is a shorter one that's kind of vaguely important, but not really. So the clowns are just all like exaggerated, let's say. They have big heads, they have big, goofy, foam, stupid-looking hands, and they wear ridiculous fucking 40s clown smocks, tunics, I don't even know what to describe. Clown jumpsuits, I guess. They're like big and puffy, and they're goofy and face-painted and monstrous. Like, they look like, big, dopey monsters, but still humanoid.
Right, yeah. And I mean, this is 88, so no CGI. It's all practical effects. All people inside suits.
There is some CGI in this movie. Well, bad 80s CGI, but not the actors are all practical. And it's dumb, but it looks good. Like, they look really good. I mean, they look stupid, but they look like well done stupid.
Right. A professional was in the design room for that one.
And yeah, like the faces are very expressive too for what they are, big dopey fucking clown masks, which is surprising because usually it's like, you get a little bit of movement on one thing, but they kind of express, some fun stuff with it.
Actually curious about the puppetry aspects of that. I wonder if anyone, because this was in the heyday of Muppet Jim Henson stuff, I think. I wonder if there's any crossover. I don't know how big the puppet community is necessarily, but
I don't either. Well, it's mostly people in suits, so I don't know what the masks are, how they're powered or anything. I don't care. I'm not going to look into it. But especially for being low budget, it looks pretty good. So, especially compared to the genre that it's in, where,
right.
There is one scene where you can see a clown zipper, but other than that, it's pretty solid. I'll give them credit there. And the facial expressions do work pretty well. So, it's not as bad as it could be, but also, it's dumb as fuck. It's just big, dopey, idiot clowns with giant fingers. I don't know. For some reason, their gigantic hands really bothered me, and I don't know why.
It's very cartoonish, not scary at all. Definitely not like a Pennywise or something.
No, and it's not meant to be scary. Again, like that's what we keep saying. So the clown waves at the farmer and then shoots a ray gun at him, which envelops him in a pink light while he starts screaming. We cut back to the police station. We see Dean Wormer interacting with our third protagonist, who I'm going to call Hero Cop. Hero Cop is a blonde, handsome young man who is slightly braver than everyone else in town, but otherwise is as cookie-cutter as everyone else in the movie who is not named Dean Wormer. So the Dean in question brings in 2 local rapscallions, capital L, capital R. They were walking and drinking, and that is a crime, especially to the straight-laced and very angry Dean Wormer. As such, he puts them on double-secret probation and wants them to be locked up. I've got 2, and that's one of them. He and Hero Cop butt heads because Hero Cop has had official police academy training, while Dean Wormer apparently learned from the School of Hard Knocks. Along with the clowns, Dean Wormer will be playing our secondary villain, but he won't last long. So back with male and female protag. Male gives us a very racist impersonation of a Native American as he determines where the meteor landed, which that's just fun because casual racism is so hip. But I guess in the 80s it was, so whatever. The 2 generic protagonists head out into the woods and stumble across the circus tent spaceship. Much like Farmer Moron, male protagonist also wants to go to the fucking circus in the middle of the night in the middle of nowhere. Female protagonist is naturally hesitant because she has a brain, but male protagonist convinces her to go in for a closer look. As they're walking around the tent spaceship, they find the entrance, and male protagonist has to again browbeat female protagonist into going inside. They wander through the spaceship, which is designed like a weird funhouse with strange, wild colors and bent corridors and whatnot. Male protag keeps fake circus patter going throughout their walk, noting that it looks like it was decorated by Clowns R Us. They wander into a clown elevator, which is like a sliding tube door that opens up, and then they go inside, and the sliding tube door closes. We never actually see an elevator motion because that one effect would probably cost their entire budget.
Right, yeah.
And also it has the buttons are just giant clown noses that clearly are just fucking shitty props, so when he pokes them, don't do anything but make a clown noise. They end up in a giant, I'm going to call it reactor room. It's got like one of those big novelty lightning balls in the middle of it, like they sell it
okay.
Spencer's Gifts, like when you, it's like a glass ball with lightning. When you touch it, all the lightning goes to your hand. You know, that's
yeah. I forget what those are called.
I have no idea. I never knew. They freak out because
Epstein ball or something.
I don't think so. I don't think that's accurate.
When you touch the little ball, the lightning goes to your hands.
Jesus Christ, Isaac. You know, those things always seemed really cool to me, but then it's like, as an adult, it's like, well, what do you do with it? I don't get high, so what's the fucking point of this thing?
Are you just like a crackhead now?
No, I said I don't get high.
Oh, I thought you meant, well, if the electric ball doesn't get me high, why would I bother with it?
No. I feel like it's a thing you do when you're high, isn't it? I don't know what fucking drugs do, man.
It would be more fun if you were stoned.
I guess so.
Yes.
All right, so male and female protagonists freak out because they realize they're in a fucking spaceship, so they try to leave. A clown approaches them from down a corridor, so they run into a different elevator and end up in a big room with gigantic balls of pink cotton candy hanging off of hooks. Male protagonist is convinced that, oh, wait, we're in a cotton candy factory, and this is where they hang it out to dry. But female protagonist is like, no, you fucking moron, this is clearly a spaceship. So they argue about it, and male protagonist rips off a chunk of cotton candy, and we see the bloody, skinless face of the farmer inside of the cotton candy ball. I really get tired of saying cotton candy ball in this goddamn movie, and it comes up a lot. So, speak of the devil, a clown comes in carrying another cotton candy ball. The protags hide in the back of the room from this big, goofy-looking fucking clown. It goes and fiddles with some low-budget levers made out of cheap Joanna fabric craft pieces because they're clowns! You see, Isaac? You fucking dunce! Speaking of dunces, male protagonist drops his flashlight and the clown spots them. They get away from the clown and run out of the spaceship, but the clown does manage to shoot them with a gigantic popcorn cannon, covering them in individual, seemingly sticky pieces of popcorn as they flee into the woods. And by the way, if I didn't mention before, this tent ship just in the middle of the fucking woods. Just nowhere. Middle of nowhere. So our protagonists are leaking popcorn everywhere off of them. One of the clowns twists up a dog out of a balloon, and the dog comes to life. And by comes to life, I mean it's just a guy in a suit, like, jiggling the balloon while they pipe in dog noises. And so they use the dog to track the popcorn to chase the protagonist, excuse me. So the clowns and the balloon animal dog give chase. Eventually they catch up to the humans as the humans get in the truck. Male protagonist hits them with the truck, kills the balloon dog, and they escape. And as it's a balloon dog, not a real dog, I don't give a fuck. You can kill all the balloon dogs you want. Oh my god.
I'm gonna find you a dog murdering movie now.
Do not do that. Okay? If you want me to cry, there's better ways. Don't go the cheap way, you fucking dickhead.
What about a wolf?
Yeah, those are fine. Whatever. They're fucking lazy forest dogs.
Does Balto die at the end of Balto?
Balto's a cartoon.
Yeah,
I don't care. You can murder all the cartoon dogs you want. I don't fucking care. They're not real.
You know, when they kill people in movies, the actor doesn't die.
Yes.
Right?
I know.
Okay. I'm confused now.
I'm very emotional.
Fair enough. Just let the clowns comfort you.
Well, they're on their way because we see the clowns deciding to give chase as through the foggy woods we get the March of the Clowns towards town past a road sign as they proceed in search of food and fresh prey. I wanted to do that in a Morgan Freeman voice, but I'm far too much of a hack to ever possibly manage to do a March of the Penguins style overlay for the clowns walking through the woods. Male and female protagonists go to the police station and meet up with Hero Cop. They hurriedly try to explain what's going on, but obviously it sounds utterly ridiculous, so he trundles them inside. Oh, fucking Christ. All right, so from here on out, we're going to get a lot of something I have decided to call the Cavalcade of Clown Kills. Interspersed between the actual story, we get random clown murders throughout town. I don't really feel like tallying them all separately. And if I just describe the story with the clown kills taken out, you will fall asleep in about 5 minutes. That said, whenever there's a clown murder, I'm going to lead off with CKK for Cavalcade of Clown Killings. Note that the clowns in this movie are spelled with a K, so I briefly flirted with the idea of spelling Cavalcade with a K to keep alliteration going, but I realized that starting every other paragraph with KKK is not going to look good when I run for mayor next year. So, bear with me.
We might populate slightly better on certain websites.
I'm good. What's that racist Twitter you told me about a couple of times?
Twitter? You just mean Twitter?
Well, nowadays that is accurate, huh? Fuck. There was like a specific racist Twitter.
POTUS?
Again, I mean, in the past that may not have been as true, but fuck. Jesus.
No, I don't remember this. I think you're confusing me with some other clown.
No, it was definitely you. You're the only clown I know. Ah, God. All right, so that said, we get a CKK. I almost said KKK. Fuck. We got a CKK here as we see a clown sneaking past a drugstore. Noticing some teens walking up, this drugstore, fucking A. This drugstore has a gorilla in a clown suit, dancing in front of it, like an automated mechanical robot gorilla.
Right, okay.
So, of course, just like any other, just like fucking Tuesday afternoon up in this hole. So the clown gets on the other side of the door and also does the same jerky sort of robot movements to disguise himself, even though this is the only time in the movie the clowns ever try to disguise themselves, so I don't really know why he does this, but whatever. We'll get back to this later. At the station, the protags are attempting to convince Hero Cop that they aren't batshit insane. Dean Wormer, of course, doesn't believe them and downplays the whole thing. In between the banter, we learn that Hero Cop and female protagonist clearly have some kind of history together. Hero Cop really isn't convinced about the clowns, so he takes male and female protagonist into his car to go somewhere, although it's never really stated where. The pacing in this movie is kind of rough, too. Anywho, another CKK. We see a guy watching a puppet show where a boy puppet tries to kiss up on a girl puppet who keeps rejecting him, and the boy puppet keeps trying harder, so the girl puppet pulls out a clown gun and shoots the boy puppet, which evaporates him. The dopey idiot watching the show starts laughing and clapping his hands like a seal. That's what I envisioned in my head, even if it's not what actually happened. And a killer clown emerges from the puppet show booth, explodes it, and then turns the guy into a ball of cotton candy. This is what you're here for, folks. You're here to watch alien, giant, foam-fingered clowns killing people with guns. That's just watch a supercut of that on YouTube and spare yourself the trouble.
Where are the clowns from?
Outer space.
Oh, okay. See, I was wondering about that, but now you cleared that up. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Does that fucking clear it up for you? Jesus Christ. We get another CKK here, Cavalcade of Clown Killings, where we see a drugstore clown, the drugstore clown from earlier, has turned the two teens inside the store into cotton candy balls, and is prowling around the store, knocking shit over while the owner is, looking on in horror. We just keep cutting to the owner's face. He's like, oh, he's like an old man, and the clown keeps knocking over displays, and he's like, oh. Also,
your old man noise is distressingly accurate.
I don't know if I write this down later and I try to bring it up again, but the clowns are all very generic. They're all unique, but none of the clowns, there's no, boss clown. There's no, clown that matters more than any of the other clowns.
Right.
Which I think is kind of a detriment to this movie because, I don't know, you don't get attached to any of the clowns.
You need a couple tiers of villains. You need a big bad.
They have something like that at the very end, but it's really not satisfying. But, the whole movie just has these, it's the same 6 or 7 clowns. There's a lot of them, but we kind of focus on 6 or 7-ish, but they don't matter. They're just there, and they don't, they're not separate from each other in any way.
Well, and none of them ever talk, right?
No, we get one clown talking scene.
Okay. So yeah, you really don't build a rapport with the killer clowns from where were they from again?
Nebraska.
Oh right, the killer clowns from Nebraska. Yeah,
Mudgett, Nebraska.
Get a rapport.
Yes.
Regina,
right.
Canada.
Real place. Back with our heroic triumvirate, Hero Cop reveals that he is taking female protagonist home. She shouts that he's not her boyfriend anymore, but he still loves her anyway. So, of course, we get a little love triangle here, because that's what Killer Klowns from Mudgett, Nebraska needed.
Oh boy.
He tells her that she can either go home or she can come back with him to the station and get locked up for safekeeping, because that's how safekeeping works. Much like King Kong. Better to keep your women in captivity than to let them roam free.
You're saying this like it's not true?
How is your wife, Isaac?
She's in captivity. She's doing great. It's a dangerous world out there. Thank God she is safe here under the crawl space, shackled to the radiator.
Jesus Christ. You're going to get swatted one day because someone is going to take this very seriously.
Possibly. At least I did have to adjust the crack under the crawl space door so it's wide enough that I can roll hot dogs under there for her. Because she was, like, about to starve to death. And it wasn't good. I like a little meat on them.
Fuck's sake. I like a little meat on them.
I love and respect the autonomy of my wife, and I give her enough leeway that she can fully sponge bath herself. Thank you.
How good for her. What a great deal she got into there. Oh my God. All right. I don't even remember where I am. All right. So we got another clown killing. We see a scantily clad woman answering her door where a clown has a stack of pizzas. She kind of rolls her eyes at this when suddenly 2 more clowns appear in the doorway, and then one jumps out of the pizza boxes with a gun and shoots her into cotton candy. And at another home, a clown arrives with a box of Valentine's chocolate for an old woman before he shoots her, too. Because that's, again, why you're here. It's why you watch this fucking movie.
They've certainly learned a lot about human earthling society to orchestrate these particular killings.
Again, I mean, that's just what are you going to do? Like, I could fucking make this podcast 7 hours while I complained about how they could possibly learn the intricacies of dating and fucking porn to get the pizza guy reference and the, whatever. It's not worth it. It's just, they actually, I'll tell you what, I'll give them credit. Later, near the end of this movie, they actually kind of touch on this. We'll get to that, though.
Okay.
So our heroes have arrived at female protag's house. Female talks to male, and they argue about hero cop being her old boyfriend. Wow, I wrote that stupidly. She tells male protagonist when he and hero cop leave, she's going to follow behind. By the way, she never does. I don't know what the fuck that was about. I guess the boys are going to the crime scene, but again, we've never really established what the fuck any of these 3 are doing yet. So it just kind of is the next scene to next scene to next scene, and shit keeps happening. Oh my God. CKK! Back at the pharmacy. Another clown has showed up, and they continue to ransack the place. They fuck with the shaving cream and makeup, and I guess this is funny, and they reuse the footage of the owner reacting from the last scene. So just, you imagine that I did those fucking noises from 5 minutes ago again, of an old man going, so, at the crash site, male protagonist and hero cop arrive where the tent was, only to find that the ship is gone. Shock and alarm. Male protagonist is flabbergasted, but hero cop is pissed off they've wasted his time. He arrests the male and bundles him into the car, because there's just a lot of bundling into places in this fucking movie. CKK! We see a group of bikers hanging out in the street. A tiny child-sized clown arrives on a miniature clown bike. The bikers make fun of him, and the lead biker picks up the miniature bike and smashes it into pieces. In response, the clown starts crying and super jumps into space, just disappears off the screen, and then jumps back, but this time he's got boxing gloves, and he's ready to, he's getting into a boxing stance with the lead biker. Lead biker says, "What are you gonna do, knock my block off?" So the clown punches off his head, because why not?
Right, yeah, naturally.
The bikers panic and run off while the small clown laughs. And by the way, the actual best part of this movie is here, because in the graffiti behind the bikers, we see a line that says "no butt, no putt," which is easily the best part of the whole goddamn movie. I don't know how to use that, but I got to start using it somewhere. Another CKK here. We see a clown-based burger joint, not a Killer Clown from Outer Space-based burger joint, just a regular clown-based burger joint, because the 80s were a lawless wasteland. An unhappy family is sitting around eating burgers when a little girl sees a clown outside playing peekaboo with her. The clown is riding a tiny plastic blue donkey designed for children, which is mildly comical. The clown beckons to her, and we see he has a giant clown mallet behind his back, so he's going to bash her over her stupid kid brains. Before she can go outside to be violently murdered in the street, the mother grabs her and demands she finish her food. The clown growls angrily, and we cut away. We never cut back to that scene, so I'm guessing he just goes inside and murders everyone, but I don't know. We never really see it again. I will never understand why people like this movie. I don't get it. I don't, maybe it's me. I know my hatefulness is a known factor, but goddamn is this dumb and boring.
Yeah. Well, neither of us have ever been particularly fond of bad movies.
No.
I can enjoy them, but I rarely go out of my way to watch one for fun.
There are some bad movies that I like, but I would never say, oh, that movie looks like it's going to be terrible. I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that's the disconnect here, because this is one of those ones that people actually like.
Some people really revel in enjoying bad movies. Mm-hmm. And that's a regular thing for them. So I could see why this appeals, but yeah, we're not that lowly sort.
No,
we're higher brow.
Yeah, we're of the smart. Fuck.
Yes.
I fucked it up. I fucked it up. All right, so hero cop and male protagonist arrive at the makeout spot. They find it in utter chaos, and one of the cars is full to the brim with spiderweb like cotton candy. Hero cop lets male protagonist free of the handcuffs, and male protagonist protests that this is what they saw at the ship. Back at the police station, Dean Wormer fields some calls about clowns rampaging through town, but he wants nothing to do with any of that shit, assuming it's all a gigantic prank from the Ice Cream Brothers. He complains about them, muttering that fat, drunk, and stupid is no way for kids to go through life. I am officially now out of Animal House references. I thought I'd have a lot more. One of the calls
I'm still proud of you.
One of the calls is from the pharmacist, who is staring down a clown at the counter, putting a bunch of shit on the counter to buy it. The long and short of it is that Dean Wormer is convinced the whole town is out to fuck with him and decides he isn't taking any more clown calls. So CKK here, we can see a guy driving fast when he is approached by a clown. The clown is driving a seemingly invisible car, and he has headlights glued to his shoes. Not sure if those headlights are from the car, from the woman's titties from The Last Dragon, but I'm going to assume they are, because these were both made in the 80s.
The titty headlights.
The invisible car...
It might have been a leftover prop.
I hope so.
The Last Dragon was 85.
In my head, this is same sound studio and everything, so... In my head, that's canon. So the invisible car smashes into the passerby's car, which careens off a cliff and catches fire, while the satisfied clown looks on and laughs. Back to the female protagonist. She strips in the bathroom to shower. Sadly for me, we get to see nothing. But we do see bits of popcorn from her clothes are beginning to move around on the floor and into her hamper like bugs.
Ooh, erotic.
What?
Yeah, I got some weird kinks.
Okay, hey, you know what?
Bug popcorn kinks.
I'm not going to kink shame you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Fucking weirdo. All right, so another clown kill. In a similar scene to the last one we just saw, we see the burger joint. Oh, we do get a I'm sorry, I forgot about this. The burger joint clown does come back. We see him go around to the back of the burger joint, and in a dumpster, he opens his big, stupid clown bag and takes out a handful of popcorn, which he throws into the dumpster. Eventually, a fry cook comes, or some shit, to dump something in the dumpster, and is sucked inside of the dumpster by seemingly some kind of monster we can't see, just we hear him get violently murdered. So male protagonist and hero cop are driving around talking about the situation. Hero cop apologizes for being an asshole just because male protagonist is female protagonist's new boyfriend. I don't know why I write sentences like this, because they're very hard to say. We get a CKK interspersed with the plot here, as at a bus stop we see a clown doing hand puppetry on the wall behind the people for their amusement. Again, it's like fucking midnight, and there's 9 people at this goddamn bus stop. The puppets get more and more elaborate, including Washington crossing the Delaware and a sexy belly dancer. Eventually, male protagonist and hero cop show up, with male protagonist begging hero cop to shoot the clown, but hero cop says, hang on, I guess I should watch these people get murdered because it's a horror movie, huh? And yes. Like I mentioned last week, the only memory I have of this movie, the hand puppet becomes a T-Rex that proceeds to eat all of the people at the bus stop. The clown seems to have captured their souls with this trick, because he's like got his hands clasped together and he like puts it in the popcorn bag, and we like hear the faint screams of the people. So that's weird, because these clowns don't seem like soul collectors, but I don't fucking know, man. That was a weird one.
I just want to point out that you did in the course of this movie say the cop said, I think I should just wait and watch these people get killed. Yeah.
Oh God.
This movie is way ahead of its time, Larry.
Oh fucking A! I didn't even put that together. I mean, he obviously doesn't say that. He just says, "Wait, hang on, let me see what's going on." I just put like fucking A.
We live in a dystopian hellscape, and the clowns are coming. They're coming, Larry.
At this point, I'm ready to vote clown in 2020.
God, Vermin Supreme. Ponies for everyone.
Oh, man, I just can't do it. I can't. Too much of an asshole. All right, so yeah. So the clown's got these fucking people's souls, I guess. The male protagonist takes the wheel and tries to run the clown over, but this clown does another space jump and vanishes. I guess that's just a thing they do.
The space jump thing.
These are the only 2 times it happens. I don't understand, but whatever. So Hero Cop tries to call Dean Wormer for backup from the state police. Dean Wormer wants nothing to do with these fucking idiots and tells Hero Cop to literally fuck off. Excuse me, the only fuck we get in this movie.
Ooh.
While they sit at an intersection, the Ice Cream Brothers reappear, chasing down their truck, which I guess they forgot to park. I don't know. Their characters are that they're fucking idiots. Like, just full-on, total idiots. Like, no concept of reality idiots. Male protagonist, who is friends with them, says he'll use their truck to go around and warn people, while Hero Cop goes back to the station to call the state police. So, male protagonist talks to the Ice Cream Brothers, trying to convince them of what's going on. All they really care about is selling ice cream so they can get girls, because those 2 things are related, I suppose. He wants to convince them to take him to pick up female protagonists, so he tells them that she has 2 roommates with big boobies to convince them to go there. And honestly, that's about all it would take to get me to show up too at this point, because it's been a long quarantine. So back with Dean Wormer, he is smoking a cigar, reading a gun magazine, and grumbling about Korea while ignoring 4 ringing phones. He is what my grandfather could have been if the war went very differently for him. Eventually, a clown wanders in and the 2 interact. Wormer gets all angry old man on the clown because that's basically all he ever does. The clown produces a bouquet of flowers that squirts Dean Wormer in the face. I assumed it would be some kind of acid or something, but it's just water. And we'll see that Dean Wormer has a much different and far stranger fate in store for him. Wormer gets pissed, so he grabs the clown and tries to handcuff him, and as he does, the clown's gigantic fucking hand gloves pop comically off, freeing him with the handcuffs, while the clown fucking scoots away into the hall where the capital L, capital R rapscallions are being kept. Local rapscallions. The clown's hands regrow, and Wormer throws the clown into the cell with the rapscallions. Rapscallions, god damn it. He tries to bash the clown over the head with a flashlight, but the clown's entire head turns around like an owl's head, and the clown uses one of those party blowing things. I forget what they're called. It's like the thing you blow into and like a streamer sort of comes out.
Oh, yeah. Party favor, I think.
Yeah, okay. I guess it's party favor. But it's... You know what I'm talking about. It's like the thing you blow into and like to make some sound and, you know. Well, he does that, and at the end of that is a hand that grabs Dean Wormer by the throat and smashes his head against the bars.
Ooh.
So, I mean, it's very tame. It's not like bloody. There's like barely any blood in this movie at all. It's very, very tame. So the Hero Cop arrives at the station. He sees gigantic clown footprints heading to the cells. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to bitch about the logical leaps and the low quality content, but these fucking clown footprints really bugged me. They're just like construction paper cutouts of clown shoes that they like glued to the floor and the walls and the ceiling. And they just look so stupid. This is like the worst looking thing in the movie to me. It looks so stupid that I couldn't get over it. I was just like, it just looks ridiculous. Like, I don't understand. I don't like it. I don't know.
See, I feel that's the kind of gag that I think appeals to me. I don't remember it from seeing this movie 10 years ago, but that makes me chuckle just visualizing it.
I mean, it's a fine gag, but it's just I don't know. No, it's not a fine gag. Fuck it. I don't like it. It's dumb. It's dumb and you're dumb for liking it. So, yeah, okay. In the cells, Hero Cop finds the cell area is totally covered floor to ceiling in clown footprints. He sees the 2 local rapscallions have been turned into cotton candy balls. He panics. Good.
One question real quick. What does Jay-Z garnish his cooking with?
Is this going to make me want to divorce you?
Rapscallions.
I want a divorce. Did you just come up with that joke, or has that been in your fucking word bank?
I've been brewing it for about 3 minutes.
Wow.
That's usually how long it takes.
3 whole minutes, huh? You must be a blast at parties, you fuck.
Yeah, I just derail everything for a bad pun that no one enjoys.
You're like George from Seinfeld with the jerkster calling and running out of you.
Pretty much, yeah.
So Hero Cop panics and backs out of the cells, only to find a clown sitting at Dean Wormer's desk. The clown is holding up Wormer, who has like big red circles on his cheeks, and he has lines down his chin like he's a dummy. And the clown's like holding him on his knee. So the clown uses Wormer like a puppet, or if you're like me, you wrote clown uses Wormer like a puppet because you're a fat, stupid idiot with big, stupid clown hands. I think I hate the clown hands because they remind me of my hands, which are gigantic and awkward and make typing impossible.
Yes, you do have gorilla hands.
It's the worst. And so this is the only real insight we get into the clown's motivations. Not that there is much and it doesn't fucking matter, but it's notable for the fact that this is the only time the clowns speak, quote unquote. So via Dean Wormer, the clown is like taunting Hero Cop. He knows his name. I don't fucking know how, but okay. Again, I don't care. It doesn't matter. And he uses Dean Wormer to tell the Hero Cop that all they want to do is kill them. So the clowns are here for murder. I mean, I figured that, but at least we got it from the horse's mouth. So the clown rips his hand out from the back of Dean Wormer and throws him aside. R.I.P., by the way, to the best character in the whole movie. And then rises to his full clown height and begins to menace Hero Cop. Hero Cop takes a couple of ineffective shots at the clown's torso before shooting it in the nose. The red clown nose explodes and the clown screams, spinning into a green crystal which violently keeps spinning faster and faster before exploding into a cloud of glitter.
Well, shit.
I mean, yep, that's... so
we know their weakness. Go for the nose.
Yeah, the big red... It's like a video game. They got a big red fucking basically glowing spot to shoot at. So Hero Cop calls the state police and then rushes off to go rescue female protagonist. So we cut to male protagonist and the Ice Cream Brothers. They're en route to female protag's place as well. The Ice Cream Brothers still don't believe male protagonist and berate him for fooling them, as apparently he's fooled them in the past, which we never hear about, but whatever. They turn a corner and see what I can only call a clown parade. They have a gigantic, I guess, inflatable parade float that's also a vacuuming machine. Another sentence I thought I'd never say. As they parade down the street, collecting all the cotton candy people balls, and vacuuming them up into their machine. They pick off some straggler humans, too, but don't seem to notice the Ice Cream Brothers truck behind them, and they all leave when they see this fucking clown parade marching down the street. It's dumb.
Okay.
Back at female protagonist's place. She gets out of the shower and dresses before being attacked by 2 clown-headed tentacles in the hamper and 2 in the medicine cabinet. She defeats all of them by spraying them with hairspray and throwing the shower curtain on them when she is attacked by a larger tentacle from the toilet. She crams the shower head into its mouth and turns the water on before escaping downstairs. She goes to the front door where it sounds like male protagonist is here, but it is in fact a clown who's mimicking his voice. So I guess we get a little more clown talk here. So she goes to jump out a window, but finds there's 4 clowns holding a tiny trampoline to catch her like demonic firemen, or just the firemen from Dumbo.
I like that.
I don't understand why, but the clowns seem to have some weird interest in female protagonists. Like, they take her alive, and they take no one else alive, and I never really explained. I guess just because...
titties?
I guess just because she's a protagonist. I mean, they take other attractive women. I mean...
They have a type.
Do they?
Sure. What's the defining feature of protagonist woman?
She identifies as female. She's got big, goofy 80s hair. Like, I mean, every woman in this movie does, though. It's the 80s.
God, it's the worst decade.
It really is.
Stupid phone.
Everyone born in the 80s can fuck off and die. Wait, no, that's true. It's not true. Well, you can can fuck off and die. How about that?
Yeah, I should. I deserve to.
Fantastic. Yep, I'm all about it. Oh my god. I gotta get through this.
It's getting hot. It's getting hot, Larry.
It's so hot in this fucking room, I'm gonna actually die. So anyway, female protagonist gets captured by the clowns, and instead of turning her into a cotton candy ball like everybody else, they shoot her with a ... balloon gun, which traps her in a balloon alive. Like a big, slightly human-sized balloon. The clowns leave and attach the balloon to a tiny pink leopard print clown car. The ice cream truck shows up, and male protagonist notices female protagonist in the balloon. Hero Cop spies the chase and tries to join in as the high-speed chase progresses. Eventually, the Ice Cream Brothers assume that Hero Cop is there for them and slam on the brakes. Hero Cop smashes into them, ruining the cop car. He jumps into the ice cream truck, and our group of idiot heroes give chase. heading to the amusement park where they reason that the clowns are probably hiding. It's also not that much of a logical leap because you can fucking see the spaceship in the shot, but, whatever.
Is this a Scooby-Doo movie?
No, I would enjoy a Scooby-Doo movie. We get our final CKK here. The clowns show up to the amusement park in a leopard print clown car. They're accosted by a security guard who tells them to leave. One clown gets out, and the guard tells him he's got to get out of here. Because it's a clown car, of course, despite it being tiny, 5 other gigantic clowns get out.
Of course.
The security guard looks confused as fuck before the clowns pull cream pies out of nowhere and coat him in thrown pies. I guess these are magic killer pies, because the more the man gets coated, he eventually sinks to the ground, literally melting into a mound of pile and human goo. And as they're walking in,
melting pie.
The miniature clown puts a big fake maraschino cherry on the pile. Because comedy works in threes? Question mark? I don't know.
Yes. You've solved it.
So our heroes show up not long after and discover the pile of man. Nothing like the Isle of Man to our British listeners. Somewhere Hero Cop got a fucking shotgun, but I must have missed that when I wasn't paying attention. So our 4 heroes pile into the tent. Hero Cop orders the Ice Cream Brothers not to fool around. While they're walking through the creepy abandoned funhouse, which I'm not sure is part of the ship, but I also don't give a fuck, they try and reason out what the story with the clowns is. Male protag reasons that they must be ancient astronauts that came to Earth and built shit like the pyramids, and maybe humanity's idea of clowns come from them. That's actually a real theory that some people think about aliens, nothing to do with clowns, but that's like an actual alien conspiracy theory, which it's kind of cool. I mean, clearly the people writing this weren't total idiots. Like, it's for what it is, it's finely done, I guess. It's not good, but, as far as the category of not good, it's okay. The movie never does reveal what's up with the clowns, which is fine. It doesn't matter, and also I don't care. Anyway, Hero Cop wants to know if they're intelligent, why they're here doing the murdering. This does lead me to the notion that we don't actually know why the fuck the clowns are doing this yet. I mean, I know because I've seen the movie before, but never really. It's just like, for the first time watch this movie, just alien clowns show up and just start killing people for fun and profit, I guess.
Yeah, well, why did John Wayne Gacy do it? For the love of it, Larry.
No, he liked to fuck little boys.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Isaac.
What?
Jesus Christ.
He enjoyed himself. That's why he did it. It was fun. For him, not for me.
I can't do this with you.
Well, to be fair, I haven't killed a boy, so I don't know if I would find it fun. I assume not. That does not seem fun.
I think that's a safe assumption to make.
Yeah. I think he killed the first one on accident and then realized how much he liked it, so...
He did, yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah. Oh, God. Better not kill anyone by accident. My bloodlust will just come out.
Start with me, please.
But I can't kill you on accident on purpose.
I got nothing for that, man.
We could get into some strangle play and then see what happens.
No, that's... there's 2 things I'm afraid of. It's dying alone and suffocating. So, please don't suffocate me if you're going to kill me. Set me on fire or something.
At least suffocate him in a crowded room.
Sure, that's... I gotta get done with these clowns. I gotta get done with these clowns. So one of the Ice Cream Brothers reasons maybe the clowns are eating people. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. He's probably right. So as we're going along, one of the Ice Cream Brothers hits a random clown nose button, which is a thing, and that sends a blast of steam up out of the floor. They get berated by Hero Cop for fucking around, who reminds them to stay close. And when he turns around, both the Ice Cream Brothers fall down some unspecified chute into a ball pit. Inside the ball pit are 2 lady clowns, both of whom's breasts engorge upon seeing the Ice Cream Brothers, like they get comically large. Yes. As such, a hardcore porn ensues, and we get the 2 of them, and they fuck these ugly clown women, and then the credits roll.
Fucking awesome. Forgot about that part.
If only.
Oh.
Anyway, God. Male protagonist and Hero Cop arrive back where male protagonist was earlier in the movie, and they take the elevator to the cotton candy room, which is now totally full of cotton candy balls. Cotton candy people balls. One-eyed, one-horned, flying cotton candy people balls. That didn't work. Nope. Fucked up the syntax. They look around, searching for female protagonists, when a clown wanders in. It starts tapping on the cotton candy balls, much like one would tap on melons if they were a fucking dunce. And when he finds the right one, the clown pulls out a gigantic silly straw and crams it in, slurping up blood from out of whoever was inside. We follow the trail of blood all the way through the goddamn silly straw to the clown's big, stupid, idiot mouth. It drinks its fill and wanders off, so the heroes keep looking for female protagonists. They find her in the balloon, and they free her from the balloon with a pistol because they can't break it with their own fucking stupid hands. I don't care. They find out she's still alive despite there being no air inside. She's been in that goddamn balloon for at least 20 minutes, so I guess she's got the lung capacity of Jesus Christ himself. Our heroes start to escape, and the movie beats me to the punch by having Hero Cop shout that they have to try and save the other people trapped in balloons because they might still be alive, which is the point I was going to comment on. I was typing it as Hero Cop said it. Like, wait, hang on, maybe we shouldn't be totally heartless. However, a bunch of clowns arrive and they have to leave. We get a long flight scene here as the heroes try to run from the clowns, and they're traveling through the ridiculous areas of the spaceship running away. So we see, like, the heroes go through a corridor, basically, of silliness, and then we see the clowns go through it, too. So, like, you get to watch all this twice. It's pointless. It's incredibly redundant, and some of the ship hazards in no particular order. There's a monster at the bottom of a fireman's pole that tries to eat them when they slide down it. There's a hallway of laughing, moving, cackling door frames that are, like, shifting back and forth. There's a hallway filled with balloons that giggle when you touch them. There's a hallway that's just a gigantic eel with two heads. It's not alive. It's just designed that way. I don't know. And there's a hallway that ends in a door that every time you open it has a smaller door behind it, and it's such and such and so on until you have to crawl through. Dumb and pointless. It's like 10 minutes of movie.
Got to pad that time.
Eventually, they get to
your runtime's real short, right?
It's pretty. I think it's like an hour and a half, not counting the credits or with the credits and the opening. So probably like an hour 20.
They needed every minute they had.
It's pretty quick. So eventually, they get to a giant antechamber filled with various odd-colored geometric shapes that I guess are clown-like, and eventually fills with angry clowns wielding various comedy weapons like golf clubs and fucking silly hammers and mallets. The humans get to the top of a big platform thingy as they are surrounded by clowns with bats, and before the ice cream truck smashes through a wall. If you'll recall, the truck has a fake clown head on top of it. So the Ice Cream Brothers use the intercom and say, like, "Stop! The great Jojo, the clown, commands you to let the humans go free!" Just because, sure, all right. I mean, whatever. So we see that the Ice Cream Brothers are the ones operating the truck. So I guess their clothes are all shredded up, and they're covered in big clown kisses. So I guess they actually did fuck those lady clowns and then left in the afterglow? I guess. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but sure.
The afterglow of fucking the lady clowns.
Sure, yeah. The ice cream truck ploy works. The clowns are confused enough that Hero Cop and male and female protagonist are able to escape the clown horde. They all try to get away in the truck before we get a gong to signal the arrival of Clownzilla, a gigantic clown puppet that descends from the ceiling.
Ah, the big bad.
Clownzilla appears to frighten even the regular killer clowns who all scatter. Hero Cop and the two protagonists run, trying to convince the Ice Cream Brothers to escape with them, but they won't leave the truck. Why won't they leave the truck, Isaac? Because it's a rental.
Jesus, that's bad.
Yeah, it's great. Clownzilla beats on the truck and destroys the clown head before throwing it into a wall where it explodes in a gigantic, massive fireball, seemingly killing the Ice Cream Brothers. Hero Cop orders the other two to escape through the hole in the wall while he distracts Clownzilla. Outside, we see that the tent ship is getting ready to take off. Inside, Clownzilla snatches up Hero Cop with his big, stupid clown paw. The ship is spinning away into the air faster and faster as a bunch of state police cars show up. Clownzilla is about to eat Hero Cop whole when Hero Cop unpins his badge and uses it to pop Clownzilla's nose like a balloon. Clownzilla drops Hero Cop and does the spinning, exploding thing. This explosion immediately causes the tent ship to also explode, meaning the Hero Cop has now perished. Except wait, maybe not. The leopard print clown car comes down, signaling down to male and female protagonist. Sailing down next to male and female protagonist. I can't type. And Hero Cop gets out. Yay! They all reconcile with him, and we see that from the trunk of the clown car, even the Ice Cream Brothers have survived. Yay! They explain they hid in the freezer of the truck to survive, the ice cream truck. The ice cream truck.
How's the truck?
It's not there. It's exploded into a gigantic fireball. Did I not mention that? I even said gigantic, massive fireball, which is redundant. It's
a rental. I thought it might be okay, too.
I don't know how many I can do to make that funny, but I'll keep doing it until it's funny. They explain they hid in the freezer of the truck to survive. They bicker while the other heroes laugh. Hero Cop has his hand on female protagonist's shoulders, and he, like, kisses the back of her head, which is, like, kind of boyfriendy, which I thought was a little weird considering the love triangle, but whatever. There's, like, 2 minutes left. It starts to snow glitter, and female protagonist asks if it's over. Male protagonist says, yeah, sure. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, all 3 of them get hit in the face with pies as the shitty theme song kicks back in. These pies don't seem to melt them, but the credits roll immediately afterwards, so I don't give even a single fuck.
There's more clowns, Larry.
By the way,
clowns.
The clown car that Hero Cop survived in was parked outside the tent before they ever went in. So even though I promised I was going to let most of the logical leaps go, I'm going to take just a minute to describe the last scene and what must have happened. So indulge me, just for a second here. Let me get some of this vitriol out. So
get to the bottom of it.
When they get to the circus, the amusement park, the leopard print clown car is outside because they look in it to see if female protagonist is in there, even though she's in a fucking balloon, idiots. So they go inside and have the whole clown spaceship adventure, including the hardcore clown porn. And then they leave, and Hero Cop's fighting Clownzilla. He pops Clownzilla's nose, and like 3 seconds later, the entire spaceship explodes. So that means somehow the car magically got inside. Hero Cop magically got inside the car, hoping it was explosion-proof, who the Ice Cream Brothers, who were in the explosion not 45 seconds before this, also scamper into the trunk of this car, and they're blown to safety like 5 feet away from our other protagonists.
Yeah.
I mean, logical leaps are one thing, but for fuck's sake, the car wasn't even in the spaceship.
I don't see why you have a problem with this, Larry.
I don't care. Just,
Magic clowns.
That's it. It's nothing else to say. It's just clown kills and weak plot. As far as low-budget movies go, it's just one of them. I don't know. The effects aren't really that bad. Like, the sets are all clowny, but they look okay. Like, once you see past the lens of, yeah, they had $400 to make this fucking set, but it looks fine. I mean, they do a good job. The kills are pretty lame. They really scrape the well clean of circus-related deaths they could possibly muster. I can't think of any more they could do. Thankfully, the movie has no scare factor at all. It's not that gory either. I don't know. It's just a dumb cult classic shit horror movie. If you like that sort of thing, you'll probably love this. I don't, so I don't. Simple as that. Next.
How many Oscars did this one win?
0.
Oh,
0.
Really?
Yes.
Not even Best Clown?
No.
Oh. Well, damn. That's too bad.
Is there a Best Clown Oscar?
Yes.
Score.
Robert De Niro's won it every single year. It's funny. It's weird.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
How many times has he appeared on film as a clown?
Well, do you count porn?
Yes.
Oh, then 1,008.
Every time you see a clown in porn, that's Robert De Niro.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's a woman?
He's got a lot. His cock changes color like you wouldn't believe.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, that's done. Thank God. That's got to be my worst. It's pretty short, I feel like, for my normal episodes. That's got to be my worst review ever, because there's nothing to talk about. What do you say? It's already bad. It's bad on purpose. Like, what do you say to that?
There were an awful lot of clown kills.
Yeah, I guess.
Your Dean Wormer fascination is very amusing, too.
I had to scrape for something. I love Animal House is like in my top 50 movies. It's a great movie. So that's
that's pretty good.
I have a soft spot for that. And I wish I knew more quotes of just those two. And just Fat, Drunk, and Stupid isn't the way to go through life, son, and Double Secret from Basement, which everybody knows.
Yeah, I didn't remember the Fat, Stupid Life, whatever.
Yeah, Fat, Drunk, and Stupid isn't the way to go through life, son. So,
man, if only someone had told me that when I was young and formidable.
I know. God, our lives would be very different.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Never again. Never fucking again with these goddamn...
I won't send you down memory lane 2 weeks from now for your next movie.
This was like getting a side dish instead of a main course.
Just eating like 2,000 calories worth of mashed potatoes.
Pretty much. I like mashed potatoes, but this didn't fill the need of my yelling at movies quota, because it's nothing to say. It just is. It is bad. Like, what do you need me for?
Oh, God. Well, I'm glad you got your quota of clowns in. That was...
Great.
Yeah.
Remember when a couple of years ago when there was like people in clown suits wandering around and everybody was really scared about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, then I remembered that, like, oh, those are just people. If I hit them with a bat, it's just going to go down. So I just kept the bat next to the door.
I have a pink bat that I keep near the fridge so no one can get to my hot dogs.
Why did it become like a hot dog-based podcast?
I don't... Ever since you licensed Oscar Mayer Wiener to roam free across the country.
Look, it wasn't me. I'm just complicit. I was just following orders.
Yeah, okay. That's what they all said.
That's what the clowns say.
Hot dog holocaust.
Hashtag cancel Bowser Netflix.
We are the Bowser Netflix. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to visit on the social media. It's a Facebook, that's a Twitter. We're probably the only Bowser Netflix that you know of. Send us an email, bowsernetflix@gmail.com. Let us know if you have seen any of these movies, if you have any bad movies you'd like to suggest that we subject each other to, or if you've been deeply offended and would like to tell us why we're terrible people. We would also like to know that.
I promise you we already know, but we'd still like to hear it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you have to refroth your own hatred, your own self-loathing.
Nothing you can say to me is worse than I say to myself in any given hour, so... But I'd still love to hear it. If you send an email, at least to start, we will definitely read it on the air if you want.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'd love for people to start emailing in if they want, if they feel like it. So
if you send nudes, we will describe them lovingly.
Sure. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
If you have big clown titties, please send them.
Please, God, come visit me. Bring a mask.
In a park.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, make sure to stay tuned for next week because we are covering The Car, Road to Revenge.
You spoiled that you were really bad. This one was really bad. I'm very excited.
Yeah, next week is going to be maybe the worst movie I've seen.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
It's awful, awful, awful. So, God. Jesus.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
So stay tuned. We'll be in your feed next Sunday. Thank you so much for listening. We love you dearly.
Smell you later from Mudgett, Nebraska and or outer space.